Hi guys, what's up? Yo, there's another talk. Actually, this is still related to PvP. Yeah, since there is a UC tag now, I just want to talk about whether it's possible to actually make an unstoppable team for the current PvP tag. I mean, yes, you can make unstoppable team, but if you do not use the UC tag with unstoppable, you're gonna have like a 50% differences in power, so that is actually a lot. So yeah, for the unstoppable team, of course you will need here Marina Ismail or maybe Rain Mikamura with the bot carrier, right? I do personally prefer Marina Ismail because Marina Ismail has a heal. That's simply it is like she has a heal and that's all, right? So about the team itself, okay. I talked about this before, and the main guy for your unstoppable tag it should be a Zeta 3P2. Simply because it is the easiest to get to the maximum level. Yeah, you still need to clear expert twice, but it's still one of the better ones. So even if the first UR is actually already strong enough, but it is advisable to actually get him to the maximum UR. I mean, the game's running for like 2 3 months, almost 3 months, and you should have actually enough resource to actually get him to like 3 stars. So yeah, the maximum development. So these units is basically really have a very nice high attack, and remember it has an advantage over Mobile Suit Zeta Gundam enemies. So this means if your opponent is Sirocco, this guy can actually tear it apart because again 25% damage is no joke, and yeah, you really can tear apart the opposing Sirocco, which I do think Do and Sirocco gonna be a very dangerous thing to fight in this current meta. And I think it is very dangerous. It's not that I don't think it is. It is always dangerous anyway. It's just like it got overshadowed by Strike Freedom before, and maybe people who focus more on Zeta. But yeah, Do is insanely powerful, so be careful on that. I think these 1 2 days you already see some people actually use Sirocco, and it gotta tear you apart, right? So yeah, Zeta 3 gonna be a good counter for Sirocco, and this guy actually has a very high damage, 5-4 for the support. However, you need to see that this one is actually damage taken from special weapon, 25% is okay, but it actually I think needs. Does it need to be max? No, it doesn't need to be max. So there's no restriction in there, which is very good. But again, the thing is, you would want the pilot that has increased fire condition. So in that case, the best pilot for the Zeta P3 is going to be Asuna Elma. There's no other better pilot. Then Asuna is just the best because again, she has the ESFS tag for this one, which is great. Sorry, AUG. Sorry, not ESFS, AUG tag. There's not many units here, but yeah, Asuna gonna be the best for this one. For any, maybe you can actually use Kouraki, but personally, this unit actually use more Awaken type, so Ko is not that good. Another option is gonna be Charles Noble, because again, very high Awaken stat, and also Amore with a very high Awaken stat. So yeah, that's the first unit. The second is ironically is gonna be Le Shinke. Again, the funny part here is like you need to switch up between Asuna and Amuro maybe in this because again the P3 gonna need high moral which Asuna has, so Amuro cannot give that, but the Celesigne itself also has that. Again, I forgot it actually has that, so it's a bit of a headache to actually choose. Its Mega Beam Launcher is not that great, it's actually. So the for this unit, you just go with the Beam Trident. It's still the hardest hitting move it has, and also it's it just all range. So the Signia is gonna be always be a good support for this, and with a quite nice, you know, stats. Maybe not many people have it, but still a very good choice. And then G-Quax. Okay, G-Quax is insanely good. Again, this unit, if you get it to level 100, you're gonna have easily got 21,000 power. It has its own pilot, Machu, right? You're gonna have Machu, and you can use Axia with it. I mean, no, not Axia. I mean, Setsuna with it. And then if you want to be a more high damage, you can actually go with Nyan or Kincaid. Yeah, Kincaid, right? The name of the crossbone guy. Yeah. Yeah. I don't think it's like G-Quax is very strong. It's a very it's a good tag to use here. It's a very, even though the range is small, but again you have to remember he has 5 movement speed. It also has an increased accuracy. Again, increased accuracy is gonna be great here because we know Charles Zaku and that side gonna be around. They gonna be give you some kind of headache, to be honest, and this unit can actually help with that. And the damage attack is not too shabby with Fall 2. It's not that bad actually. I know, but yeah, it's pretty small for the attacker, right? But it has actually a very high attack stat. So yeah, G-Quax is a good choice for the attacker type. Another thing for another attacker that you can actually go with is actually the Rayo. I don't know how to read this one. It's the Gaplan TR5, right? Gaplan again has a very good accuracy and increased attack. This unit has a, okay, we see here is like having a 7,000 attack. So if you increase by 40%, easily got the 11,000, and get to 100, you get another 20%. So Gaplan is, if you have a 3 stars on this, go for it. Gaplan is very good. The long blade is actually very strong, and the hit blade is not as strong, but it's a good option for the melee range. The long barrel, yeah, this long barrel beam cannon, I think it has quite the power. Let's see how much it actually has. So 4.6, yeah. So you still want to go with the long blade rifle in any way. And for the pilot, easily. I think, wait, let me see on the tag. Protagonist you see is Titan. So yeah, I think the pilot, you can actually go with the Kouraki. Kouraki is gonna be great if you want a free-to-play pilot. The other option is gonna be, I think, again, it's Charles Noble again. Charles Noble has a very good balance. No, he doesn't really good on range actually. Maybe Armor is actually better on range. So the unit doesn't really actually use any awaken stat. I think it's just using, let me check. I think it's using only awake. No, it's range, right? It's full range. So I think Kouraki is gonna be the best. Now Kouraki is simply one of the best attacker for range attacker with a 700 and also moral increase. So yeah, Kouraki, very good option. Yeah, the other unit, okay, mostly it's like support here, man. Okay, anyway, we go with the other one. Is gonna be Zeta Gundam 3. Personally, I don't really feel Zeta Gundam 3 is any much better than, you know, your standard Zeta. It's I mean it's a limited unit, so I would rather go with Zeta P3 if you want. And I don't really recommend this Zeta. Again, it might has a good evasion and mobility increase, but high mobility without any meaningful power is gonna be quite bad actually. It's like it has a good defense down again, but so you might actually want to use Zeta Gundam if you do not have a Lesigné, but the Zeta PT, the red Zeta, yeah, I think it still is more the priority now. Okay, next one is Zero Shiki. Okay, Zero Shiki is like it's kind of unique, to be honest. So this unit actually also has the Vigor thing involved. So in that sense, if you see anything Vigor and it's actually using range, you know who's the guy, right? It's always gonna be Kouraki. Kodaki is just there for the range, and beam rifle you're gonna mostly use the beam rifle. If you actually want to use the kick, however, I think Nyan gonna be a very good if you want to use this. But personally, I will go with the beam rifle. Also, it's a support, so why would you want to use the kick? But then again, for the normal pilot, Asuna, and I think there's not much of the SSR range. Only Quattro, but Quattro is limited to wing. So maybe if you have any Zimbalis or Javier Oliver, is actually very good. Not that good, but a decent choice if you don't have any proper support pilot. Anavelgato, if you have him, yep, Anavelgato. But if you have Anavelgato, mostly you're gonna have GP02. Then, I mean, mostly you're gonna go with the Taofest Nail. I mean, GP02 is gonna be strong, right? And yeah, support. You have a lot of support option actually here. And attacker, the other attacker you can go with is actually the prototype comfort. Prototype comfort, yeah, I do like it a lot because of this accuracy by 5%, and it actually has a very nice attack increase when HP is at even 5% or above. And this is very good because mostly in the PvP right now, whether you're above 75% or you're dead. Yeah, it's mostly like that. Land is good on land. Abilities, it has a giant bazooka which have less accuracy. Not really my kind of thing, but it actually hits quite hard. So yeah, with the fall movement, I do prefer. Actually, I still do prefer the Gaplant and Machu Jiquax over the Convert. I do Gaplant is a much better unit if you only have the Convert, then you don't have any choice, right? And then for there's so many support available for this tag, and unfortunately mostly are not really free to play options, and then you have the Balaras Mag Knife. This one is actually actually surprisingly good actually with the photon bomb. But again, if your team is a physical, it might be actually a better one. Grenade launcher is not really good, but the photon bomb is really great. It has mobility, yeah. So it's one of the faster mobile suit out there, but it's surprisingly performs better than most. And then the Johnny Raiden's Gelgook high mobility. This also have a very high mobility. And then the tank, mostly you want to use the rocket launcher, but again, in the current meta, I'm really not want to put any money on the the rocket launcher kind of ability because the accuracy. Again, you might actually meet some units that's gonna tear you apart with their evasion. So So another attacker that is available is actually Charles Gelgook. This one is actually having a high mobility, and again, of course, anything related to Charles is high mobility, right? And this one actually wants you to focus more on the kick. So again, Nyan might be actually better. And the other one, the beam rifle, is okay. Mostly you want to go melee with the kick. And this is actually not bad. It's actually a good option, but it's a melee. Remember, that's actually a melee unit. Again, Charles with the kick. I'm not sure why. And for the tank, this is the problem. The tank is kind of limited on this. We don't talk about the tank first. We talk about the last support we have. This the Ingrid or Geplant. Geplant is UC, right? Yeah, Geplant is UC. So from here is because it's ESFS. You know that Amuro Ray and Kouraki. No, not Kouraki is ESFS, right? Yeah, Kouraki can actually ride this unit. It has actually increased mobility, heal, so it's like a little bit more tanky unit with the heal. But maybe it's not that useful in PvP. But the beam cannon gonna be the main one you're gonna use, but it's increased beam damage taken. So you have to walk around on the DPS that actually use beam, which is Geplant. Yeah, just call it the Geplant. Right, and for the tank, unfortunately it's gonna change Matsunaga Zaku too, or you just take any other tank which is UC tank at this point, because it's not easy to get this guy. I mean, this guy has nice accuracy increase and defense, which is accuracy increase very good for tank because they can reduce, you can make sure this attack actually hits. But Zaku Bazooka, again, the bazooka thing, it wants mobility down. You better not rely on that and go with the Zaku machine gun because of the attack down, right? Yeah, for the tank, I think you just better take any other UC tank around. And then, oh yeah, Phoenix Gundam is also good. Phoenix Gundam, okay, this is gonna be go with a more UR and limited category. So yeah, Phoenix Gundam actually is UC tag again, and also the Regis. No, Regis is not UC tag. You can skip that. So Phoenix Gundam, both Phoenix Gundam is a UC tag. You can actually go with them for the unstoppable team. For the tag, that's the problem. The problem with this is actually, I mean, here's the thing. Unstoppable is more like a mobile suit that moves. It's like a very agile kind of mobile suit that don't really take hits, and they can take down the opponents like rather easily. They kind of stop them. So the unstoppable tag. Oh yeah, I forgot. Valo is here. Never mind. You have a tank. Why he didn't appear on my? Wait a minute. Valo. It's weird that I put actually on UC tag, and Valo didn't appear. Huh. So let's check on it. Let's check on it. Maybe I missed it. So yeah, sorry. So a tank. You have Valo. You actually have Valo. Let me check on Valo's this tag. Wow. Wait, it didn't appear, man. Huh. Yeah, it's UC series. Yeah. So okay, your only choice of tank is actually Valo, and Valo is actually a good tank. Seriously, a good tank with a good mobility. Has its own pilot, and the map weapon is quite okay. It's pretty nice with the mobility down, but it's a map weapon, so there's a chance that this guy actually use it because of PvP, and also the large mega particle cannons with the attack down. Yeah, Valo is very good tank. Sorry. Yeah. It's a good choice. Valo is gonna be your tank. Definitely gonna be your tank. And let's see other unit that might actually miss here. Yeah, no, it's the plant. Yeah, I think Valo is the only one that I kind of miss from the UC series. Who is this guy? I say no. This guy is Slicing Freedom. Yeah, okay. Slicing Freedom is not UC. So yeah. Sorry, I kind of miss Valo. So your only tank gonna be Valo. Valo is very good. So that's it. I think for this tag, first of all, you might actually use again Zeta 3P2, and then either you choose Lesigne or you choose Phoenix Gundam. Personally, I'm gonna use Lesigne, but Phoenix Gundam could actually be nice if you have more physical damage. Like if you go with G-Quax Machu, I'm just gonna call it G-Quax Machu, okay? If you're gonna go with G-Quax Machu, then Lesigne is not really that useful again, because Lesigne's main skill, the three beam Rider, is actually death down, which kind of similar to whatever the P3 is P2. No, Zeta 3P2 is doing. Okay, just let Zeta doing, right? Yeah. So you can actually preferably if you use Machu G-Quax, then you would want Phoenix Gundam on the top slot. So that means you have two support and one attacker. The other attacker that you might actually want to use personally, I think is Gaplant. Gaplant is the better attacker so far. And finally for the tank, I don't know why it doesn't appear here, but it's gotta be Valo, right? So that's all. How well this is gonna do is like, I do think the Unstoppable for the UC series kind of limited for now. So I don't, unless you really have the units, I don't really recommend it. The thing again, for the tank, you can actually use another thing, but if you choose for the non-UC tank for unstoppable, or you maybe it's advisable to actually use UC tank that is not unstoppable rather than you use unstoppable tank that is not UC, because you're gonna lose 50% more bonus, which is worse than 25%. It's like double bonus you miss. So yeah, but definitely you're gonna have Wallow, so it doesn't really matter, right? So yeah, that's all for me today. Unstoppable. Let I want to hear your opinion on this one. I do think it's kind of limited for now. It can work, especially because Zeta 3 gonna carries it very, very hard, and Zeta 3 and Machu gonna carry it really hard. So it does have potential. Might not be as flexible as One Shot Killer. Again, One Shot Killer is a very, very great Gundam, like a Supreme Gundam. So yeah. So that's all for me today, and see you next time. Bye bye.